My name is Ondrej and I'm going to teach you how to build AI agents with DeepSeek. The popularity of AI agents is absolutely exploding, so if you aren't building agents in 2025, you're going to fall behind. Luckily, I'm going to show you step by step how to build AI agents with DeepSeek, even if you aren't a programmer. So make sure to watch until the end. So the first step is go to n8n.io and click on Get Started for free. You'll need to fill out like an onboarding form, but it's pretty simple. Once you fill that out, you'll be in the dashboard. Click on Open Workspace. And in here, you will see your n8n automations. Just click on Create Workflow. This is where we're going to be building our AI agent. So the first step is the trigger, right? And all of you need to decide that for yourself. Might be a new WhatsApp message, might be a new Telegram message, might be a new email. There is hundreds of different integrations inside of n8n, which is what makes it amazing. So for this example, I'm going to use Google Sheets. So let me click on this, type in Google Sheets, and you can use this in many different ways, right? Let's say you're a business, you're accepting new leads, or maybe you're hiring for a position like myself. By the way, if you are an experienced front-end developer, make sure to apply. The link to my Google form is going to be below. Anyways, on the top right, you have 3 different possible triggers. On row added, so when a new row is added to Google Sheet, row updated, or both. And again, these change based on which trigger you use. So let's say you use Gmail, right? You have on message received when a new email comes in. So I'm going to do Google Sheets and then on row added. So when a new row is added, this AI agent is going to trigger. So first I need to actually connect my Gmail to n8n. So click on select credential, create new credential, and then sign in with Google. And you should see account connected. Awesome. So we actually need a Google Sheet, right? So what I did is I created 2 Google Sheets, one with qualified leads. And again, this is all fake data. I just use literally Gemini to fill this out, right? But basically one sheet is for all incoming leads to this business, and the other is only for the qualified leads. So actually for this, I'm gonna delete it and we're gonna have the AI agent run through this. So let's go back to n8n and let's choose which sheet it should run on. So under document, you will see the most recent sheet. I'm gonna select all leads in here. Sheet refers to the bottom pages basically. So I'm gonna select the first one because there is really only one here. And then let's do fetch test event. It's loading and boom, there it is. So it loaded 11 items, but as you can see, n8n recognized that correctly and it treats the header like the header. So now we know the Google Sheet works. This is how you should build n8n. You should run a test after you add every module. That way you know it works, right? And make sure to save. Click on save after every major change, okay? Now I'm gonna add the AI agent. So type in AI agent. Click that. This is what makes it more powerful than make.com and Zapier combined. This AI agent can do so many things and the tool calling is automatic. So you don't have to worry about any code, any JSON, anything like that. They've handled it so beautifully. Now this AI agent is actually going to be the DeepSeek one. So I'm going to rename it to DeepSeek R1. Now, before I show you how to actually connect DeepSeek as the chat model, real quick, I need to show you about this new module I just released in the New Society about n8n. It will teach you step by step from scratch what you need to do to build an automatic email responding AI agent that will reduce the time you spend on emails by 90%. So if you're interested in that, as well as all the other content we have on AI agents, how to build an AI startup, prompt engineering, how to use Cursor like a pro, make sure to join the New Society. It's going to be linked below. Now back to n8n. So to use DeepSeek R1, we actually cannot type in just DeepSeek right here, right? We have to use one of the providers and trick it, not trick it, but use the SDK for DeepSeek. I know it might sound complicated, but bear with me. It's super simple actually. So I'm going to use OpenAI here and we need to connect our account. So I already have 5 different connections, but if you're doing it for the first time, you will not have these. So click on create new credential. Now we need an API key and the base URL. So for DeepSeek, the base URL is this. And I'm going to leave a link to this below the video. Actually, even better, I'm going to take this automation when it's finished. I'm going to add it into the templates and presets section in the New Society. So when you're setting up the credential, make sure to replace the base URL with api.deepseek.com. Next, go to the DeepSeek platform, which is platform.deepseek.com. And in here, we need to obtain an API key. So by the way, you don't need to charge up $50. This is overkill. All you need is like $2, which was my first charge. That's going to be plenty because DeepSeek models are so insanely cheap. It's amazing. Anyways, click on API keys and click on create new API key. I'm going to do n8n agent, create API key. By the way, treat these as passwords. I'm going to revoke mine before uploading this video. Never share your API keys with anybody. Okay, so click on copy, paste it in here, and this should be it. So let me save. And connection tested successfully. Amazing. So once you see this green message, you can click out of it. And now we need to set the model. So obviously GPT-4o Mini is not a DeepSeek model. If you click on the documentation, you can see DeepSeek Chat, which is DeepSeek v3, or DeepSeek Reasoner, which is the famous DeepSeek R1. So we're going to use this one. So copy the name and let's click on expression. I'm going to select DeepSeek Reasoner. So once you put the model name in here, we can click out of it. And again, make sure to save. This is a very good habit, clicking save often. Now we need to set up the AI agent, right? So if you are, again, if this is your first time in n8n, it might be overwhelming seeing this screen. But it's actually pretty simple. The left side is the data coming in, the middle is how we process the data, and the right side is the output, the data coming out, right? So now we need to decide what the prompt is. What's going to be the prompt for the AI agent? So in here, we actually need to define it. So click on prompt source and click on define below. Here, we're going to do a custom definition based on the data we have. So let's say our business is a luxury sauna that only accepts people above 30 years old, right? Okay, so I simplified the sheet a bit. All we need is name, age, a way to contact the leads and their budget, and some extra notes, right? So let's go back into n8n, and we need to rerun the steps. So I'm going to save, and I'm actually going to click delete. And this delete button doesn't affect anything about our automation. All it does is delete this test run. So let's click on test workflow. It's waiting for a new event in Google Sheets. So let's copy over Linda, boom. So actually we need to add in one more module in here, one more node, and this one is going to be the filter one. And this needs to check which rows we process, because right now it is outputting 11 items and we don't want that, right? We only want the latest one. So instead of nodes, I'm actually going to do processed, and by default this is going to be no, right? So if processed is empty or no, then we trigger it. And so let's say only these two are not processed, it's empty. So back in n8n, we need to filter actually we need to rerun it again. So delete that, save, test workflow again. So let's test it. It's waiting for a new row. I'm gonna copy Michael over here, boom. This should trigger it, amazing. Filter, so we can stop this. Filter should now see the processed. So I'm gonna do processed value is equal to, and actually we can do is not equal to. So as long as it's not equal to yes, it will run. So let's rerun this. Boom, 3 items only. So this is what we want. We only have these 3 leads that don't have processed to yes. Everything else is processed. So now, let's say, you would have your leads and then a new person comes in. Only the new person would get processed, not everybody. So this is what we want. Super simple way to do this. So now if you click on the DeepSeek R1 AI agent, we should see on the left the data we need. So these are the nodes in our automation. Okay, so we actually have a slight error. This is still outputting the first header as the actual results. So I'm going to add a second condition, and I'm going to do and the value of name is not equal to name. Okay, so let's test this step. Beautiful. So now only the actual data flows through, not the header. So, okay, maybe there's a better elegant way to do it, but I don't care. I just care about building AI agents that work. So, okay, DeepSeek R1 should now get finally the name. So, okay, we're going to test this prompt. In here, we're going to put in the data that actually matters. So, remember, all we needed is deciding whether the age and budget matches, right? You know what? I've actually decided to make the AI agent even more powerful, because filtering from budget and age, that's way too easy. So what I added back the notes, and I did it basically a description of the job, right? So what our hypothetical sauna business is going to be looking for is people who are interested in AI, right? So this is a high-end luxury exclusive sauna that only wants people who can speak about AI and are passionate about AI. So in here we have all kinds of random people. Roughly half of them are directly relevant to AI, roughly half of them are not. And our DeepSeek agent is going to be the one determining that, right? So, okay. What we need to do is save, and we need to delete this run, and we need to rerun the data. So let's click on test workflow. It's waiting for a new trigger. So I'm going to, again, duplicate Michael over here. Boom. This ran the trigger. And then, okay, so actually it's my bad. It didn't process Michael because it has yes. So I need to delete that and do it again. Okay, so only the new lead, which in this case I just duplicated Michael Gray. Only the new lead is passing because it's not processed, right? So our filter is correctly going to our AI agent. And in here, we need to give it the relevant information. So all we need to do is do name, let's say name, Michael Gray. And then this AI agent will be deciding, is this person relevant to AI, right? Can he access our luxury exclusive sauna for AI people? So I'm gonna do a profession, and then I'm gonna drag in notes in here. So this is the user prompt, right? But we also wanna add the system message in here. So this is kind of small window, so you can click on expression, and then you can click on this button right here to expand it. So you are a helpful assistant, we can leave that. Your task is to filter potential leads for our high-end luxury exclusive sauna. We are only looking for people who are interested / working on in the AI field or in directly related fields. Then I'm going to do output format, and in here I'm going to describe how I want the AI agent to respond. Respond by writing a detailed reasoning paragraph analyzing each lead that comes in. Okay, I think this is good for now, so let's click outside and let's do a test step. Now this will take a few seconds. The reason for that is because we're contacting DeepSeek R1, and it's a reasoning model and it thinks before responding. Okay, so I actually made a mistake. Inside of the DeepSeek setup, I forgot to put the V1. So in the base URL, make sure you have /V1 after this. Otherwise, it will not work. But now you can learn from my mistakes, and you can, you cannot make them. So now the AI agent correctly outputs the categorization. So this guy represents a strong candidate. Why? Because he is a data scientist building AI. Okay, so with this output, it's going to be fed into a second AI agent, right? So this is going to be the DeepSeek agent for categorization. Second AI agent is going to be powered by OpenAI. So this one, we need to give it the model, OpenAI chat model, and click on create new credential. And we need to get OpenAI API key. So go to platform.openai.com and log in with the same account you use for ChatGPT. Super simple. On the left, click on API keys, create new secret key, N8 agent. Again, treat these as passwords. Never share your API keys with anyone. I will revoke mine before uploading this video. Okay, copy this one, boom, back to N8, paste, save, it will do a test, successful, amazing. For the model, I'm gonna go GPT-4o. It's plenty, good enough for what we need. So now we need to give this AI agent a system prompt, right? So, and actually use the prompt as well. So I'm gonna do define below, and I'm gonna say analysis, boom, and then paste in the output from the first agent. And then for the properties system message, your job is to decide whether to run / not run the tool you have attached based on the analysis given to you. Okay, so that's good enough. And actually, we should probably say in here, include a clear yes / no decision whether this person belongs on the qualified leads list. Okay, so the reason we want to use DeepSeek R1 for that is because it's a reasoning model. It can think and reason about the candidate much better than standard LLMs can do. So it can do a much better job at that. Now, in here, we need to give it a tool. And again, you need to click on plus underneath the tools for our OpenAI agent. I'm going to use Google Sheets tool. Connect your Google Sheets account. Again, make sure you use the same account. For the sheets, we need to find, so tool description, we can just set this as, we can set this manually, add person to qualified leads sheet, okay? And then we need to find the document. So this should be the qualified leads, and then sheet again, sheet one, and the operation is append row, create a new row in a sheet. Mapping columns, okay? So we need to map these columns based on what we get. So values to send are basically identical from our original one. So name is going to be after our filter, age, email, budget. What else do we have? Do we have notes? budget processed. Okay, so we need to enter notes in here. Budget, banner column, notes, and these can be just deleted, I guess. Let me delete those. So when you do changes like that, you should probably reload it. So refresh columns list, fetching columns. There it is. So budget and then notes and then processed. Doesn't matter. We don't need processed actually. We can delete processed from here. Delete column, because those are qualified, so all of them will be processed. Refresh columns list. This should disappear. Awesome. So now, if we do a test run, let's see if it happens. OpenAI, boom, and it decided to use this tool. Actually, I'm going to rename it so it's clear. I'm going to say add to qualified. That way it's clear. Add to qualified. And let's see. I've added Michael to qualified list based on this output. So now, if we do a new one, let's say Ashley is a professional golfer, right? She has no business in our exclusive sauna. I'm gonna save, first of all, save our workflow, and I'm gonna delete this test run, and I'm gonna test workflow again. It's waiting for you to create an event. So let's say we get a new lead, Ashley, and again, I'm just copying these for convenience. Obviously, new person would look different than current runs, right? So we need to make sure that whatever goes through our system is marked as processed. So let's do that. This is going to be after the second agent. I'm going to say Google Sheets, and we need to append or update row. So we need to do that. Again, Google Sheets account, make sure to select that. From document, this one's going to be in the all leads, and then the sheet is the first one. It's mapping the columns. Select columns to match on. And in order to match this, we need to execute the previous nodes. Okay, so to actually test this properly, we need to send a new person. So let's try Ashley here. I'm going to copy her. By the way, I'm just doing that with the data we have. Obviously, if new leads are coming in, they would look different than the ones on there. So let me save this. Let me do test workflow. It's waiting for the event. Boom. Paste in a new event. Now, why is only Michael being recognized? This is amazing. This is amazing. So, is Ashley even on here? Is Ashley here? This is terrible. It's not recognizing Ashley. Maybe we need to really reconnect this. I have no clue. Honestly, this is such a weird bug. So I'm gonna reselect this, fetch test event. And it did that. Trigger on row added. Okay, so now Ashley is here. That's crazy. So wait, I'm gonna manually mark Michael as process. Let me rerun this. 2 items. Why? Oh, okay. We need to run this again. The data was not updated. That's my bad. 1 item only. Ashley, please. Yes. Okay. So I'm running this one by one. So run the DeepSeek agent. And then I'm going to run this agent. And actually, we need, for the Google Sheets, what we need is we need to match it from the filter. So when this finishes, I'm going to match it from the filter. We need to match based on name or whatever, doesn't matter. But we need to update the process, right? So now that that's finished, actually, we don't even need to run this agent. First we need to set this up. So okay, it seems like we need to run the agent. Okay, my bad. Let's run this. Should be pretty quick. And okay, so let's see. Decision and no. Yeah, Ashley does not belong to our exclusive sauna because she's a professional golfer and she doesn't know anything about AI. Now, for this sheet, finally, we can set this up, right? So we need to match based on the name. So after the filter, again, we're going to drag in the name. And then processed is going to be yes. So let me test this step. Test step. Come on. Boom. And if we refresh this sheet, Ashley should be processed and she is not. Let's figure out why. Processed, yes. Update row, okay? Update row. From list, okay. Columns to match on, name. We match on the name correctly. Oh! It probably does update the sheet. But there is, okay, this is the issue of copying the data. Yikes. Okay, so I'm going to actually delete this row because we have 2 Ashleys. That was the issue. Okay. My bad. Let's rerun this. And now it works. Okay, so yeah, when you have duplicate names, it causes havoc because it updates the first name. All right, so now we can click on save and we can do a full test, right? So let's see if this works. And actually, you know what? I'm gonna activate it so it runs on its own. I'm gonna select John Smith. So this guy is in AI, by the way. I'm gonna delete him. That way we don't have duplicate data. And I'm gonna wait. So now it's running, right? So I'm gonna paste John Smith in, and this should trigger an execution. So let's wait. John Smith. We need to see if he appears because he is qualified. He should appear in the qualified list. Okay, there it is. It's running. So beautiful. This is our execution. Let's see, execution is running. It will show once it's finished. Okay, let's reload the site to see. So first we should see him in the qualified leads, and only then we should see processed switch to yes. Oh, there it is. So John has been processed and he appeared in our qualified list. So if you're a business, you have hundreds of leads, thousands of leads coming in. This could save you so many hours, right? And again, if it's simple, like, determining budget, stuff like that, you can still build an automation in n8n, of course, but you don't need to use an advanced DeepSeek agent for that, right? If it's something more complex where you feed in all the parameters and it analyzes whether this person is capable or not, whether this person is fit for the role or not, then you should be using a reasoning model for that. And it's a perfect use to use reasoning models, actually. So yeah, this is the n8n automation. Personally, I'm going to actually adapt this to my leads, like my Google Sheets that are coming in, whether it's leads, whether it's hiring candidates. And again, I'm hiring a front-end developer, so make sure to apply if you are an experienced front-end developer. The link is going to be below. But yeah, this is a very useful AI agent that can be adapted in many different ways. And hopefully you've watched until the end and actually made it happen. If you did, this is going to be in the new society. So I'm going to export this as a JSON file, and I'm going to put the entire automation into the classroom in the templates and preset sections. That way you can literally copy paste this whole thing and use it in your own business for your own life. Now again, if you want to learn more about n8n and how to build AI agents with n8n, in the new society, we just released a brand new module 3 hours ago that will teach you step by step everything you need to know about getting started with n8n. So if you are serious about AI, make sure to join the new society. We have tons of exclusive content, weekly calls. There is over 700 people. So if you want to be on the cutting edge of AI, make sure to join. It's the first link in the description. With that being said, thank you guys for watching and have a wonderful rest of the day.